Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Coinbase, and I believe that this is a good, you know, setup opportunity for a long position. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to open up with a 4-hour frame, but first we have to look at the entire market. So let's go and change your frame to 1 month so you can actually see where the trends and where everything is going. So, Coinbase went public just a couple of years ago, 2021. It opened up pretty high at $400 per stock, but since then it's just been dropping. Granted, if you don't know what Coinbase is a company that one of the oldest companies that holds Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies. So it's an exchange. So now we see a huge influx of money the past year, and recently we saw a huge decline of Coinbase. So that's kind of what we see at a month in the really long term area. What I'm interested on, because these are signals, it's basically setting up to the 4 hours. So a couple of things to notice is, aside from the huge decline, is as we can see in the oversold region here in red, this is the RSI, and I actually built the script so that it can show me when it's oversold and in a region rather than just a line, but the entire region, and when it gets out of it. So green is overbought, red is oversold. So this is like way in 27, way oversold, um, and we gotta take advantage of that, right? So it's a good indication. We're gonna do that. Although something to keep in mind is that the volume also is decreasing a little, so that's something to keep in mind. And we go good old MACD on top, right? Completely all the way in the bottom, or coming down, as we can see it here. So to me, this is a good setup for a quick trade, or set up a position just so at least we can catch um, the potential reversal, right? So again, another thing is if we look at this correction from an Elliott correction perspective, we can see that we have A, B, and C here, right? So that's another part that we have to consider on why I'm thinking this is a good potential setup for Coinbase. Um, and let's look at Fibonacci retracement and see if we can, see the entire structure from the beginning of going up. Let's put it here on this side, but around the same level. So it kind of stopped around 50%, which is, it's Fibonacci is pretty interesting because it serves as a support when we see these kind of setups. So, anyways, I believe this is going to potentially going after. I don't know if it's gonna go from here. It can go to here, and maybe, um, you know, maybe from here to there. So that will be another if it goes back to like trying to go up, but if it's going to retrace and still hasn't stopped the bleeding, which I think it is, this like RSI is way too low. So I believe it's gonna bounce back, but the way it could be bouncing back is that it might go do an A around there, and then another B around here, and then maybe C back to here, right? So that could be a potential pattern that we see, and then drop again up to the 38 or 23 even, right? I don't think so. I feel like if we go back up, the next sort of support it's around this range right here, so we can just draw a and this is just what I see, guys, so I'm not a guru or anything like that. But the next support is that right there, right? So it's trying to, that's gonna be a support. So if I were to consider a trade, I'm actually planning on buying this tomorrow when the market opens here, because I can see that there's a potential to go up. The potential to, I don't know, 10% for sure. For sure, this will happen. So either that, and now if you can just set up yourself an alarm, which I will do right now, this area around the 38. So I'm just gonna ask myself to set up an alarm, and I always like to set myself some, they can say, bye. So that alarm, rings, and then I can just enter a trade there, so I don't have to keep following. So that's something for Coinbase. Again, this is a long position, potential entry, given the RSI and the current setup. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Appreciate it. Take care.